So, to recap, Team Avatar has now left the Water Tribe, and they're heading off to another part of their journey. And in this part, I will try to cover the entirety of Book 2 of Avatar. It will be a lot to cover, but we will try. So, unlike in canon, since Iroh is with Team Avatar, there is no need for them to meet up later in the story as they are already there. So, they arrive at another part of Earth Kingdom territory where they are greeted, and I'm also sure that Iroh would not be questioned, as by this time he's wearing Water Tribe clothing to blend in and would not get noticed. However, unlike in canon, this episode's conflict is avoided by Iroh quickly discouraging General Fong for trying to force Aang into the Avatar state, explaining that it is very difficult for Aang to do so. Then, after that, they leave to head back to Omashu. Now, another important topic that we have to talk about is since Zhao is defeated in the Northern Water Tribe, it's Azula's job. And since Zuko is gone, and since Azula never really showed an interest in caring about Zuko, she plans on finding the Avatar and Iroh to finish Ozai's quest. So, that's currently going on in the story. And then after that, Team Avatar, Iroh, including Iroh, is shocked at how, when they return to Omashu, it is captured by the Fire Nation. So, Iroh says, the Fire Nation must have a massive force to take out Omashu. So, like in canon, Sokka devises a plan to sneak up into Omashu, and this is Azula's and Aang's first encounter, with Aang helping Bumi. Bumi tells that he could try and find another teacher for Earthbending. Now, another thing is, while that's going on, Iroh encounters Azula while helping Sokka and Katara. And Iroh is upset at Azula behaving this way, trying to capture the Avatar. But Azula does not really care, so Iroh uses his firebending to defend against Azula. So, after a mild battle, Iroh is able to win. After that, Team Avatar gets away, and Aang, while on Appa, thinks about how he will find another earthbending teacher. The swamp episode still happens, but with an addition of Iroh being there, and that is just like important for character development, so we can skip ahead. And after that, we can move to Aang recruiting Toph, which is, after that, we can head to the chase of Team Avatar with Azula. So, I would like to say that since they're a bit less sleep deprived, unlike in canon, as they got more sleep earlier, this time the battle of Azula still happens, but Zuko not being there, Team Avatar would still make up for it. Azula is cornered, but goes for Iroh, but is attacked, and then just creates a shield and sneaks away. And Iroh still gets hit by the fire, and Team Avatar stays back to help him. After that, Iroh is okay by then. So, after that, it is time for Aang to learn Earthbending, in which he does, with the addition of Iroh being there. Since he's there, he will teach Firebending after his Earthbending training. This also goes well for Aang, as he's able to earthbend, and also everyone in Team Avatar benefits from Iroh being there, as he is able to benefit from the knowledge of every element, as Iroh's wisdom is very important in this story, as they meet up way earlier in the story than usual. So, after that, we can head to the group. We can head to the episode of the library after being told it could help them. So this time, things will go very differently, as Toph and Iroh will stay above ground to watch Appa, while Sokka, Katara, and Aang go to investigate the library. The Sandbenders try to take Appa, but since Iroh is there, he chases the Sandbenders away, while Toph holds up the sinking structure. They are able to escape, and since Appa's still there, Aang does not have to walk across the desert for miles, but after that, we can head to going straight to Ba Sing Se to meet up with the Earth King. However, upon arrival, they see a massive drill being there. Team Avatar then tries to see what is happening, and they seek the leader Lycan Cannon. After they talk to the leader, they plan to attack the drill, so Sokka gets the idea just like in Canon, and after that they encounter Team Azula with Mai Tai Li and obviously Azula. So Aang and Iroh defend against Azula, while Sokka, Katara, and Toph against Tai Li and Mai from the inside. Since there are more people this time, it is easier to take out the drill, and they're successful. So now, at this point of the story, we can talk about the freedom fighters and what they've been doing. And since Jet does not encounter Zuko or Iroh, at this time, they do not take action. So eventually the story will reach a point where the freedom fighters and Team Avatar once cross paths. But right now, that's a benefit, as we'll see how that affects it later in the story. So we can head to Team Avatar reaching Ba Sing Se, where they are allowed to stay in the nice part of Ba Sing Se, and they prepare the information to talk about the solar eclipse, about the war. But since it's not permitted to talk about the war in Ba Sing Se, so after that, they then try to talk to Long Feng about the situation, but the same thing keeps on happening. If they keep talking about it, they will be expelled from the city. And since Appa is in a secure spot, which he cannot be captured, as Iroh told Aang earlier about what happened, so they learn from their mistake and to never repeat it again. So after that, they head off accompanied by a different person that is not Judy. As we all know, the crazy thing that happened in Ba Sing Se. So we can talk about the freedom fighters, since there was no one to accuse of being a firebender. Jet does not get captured by the Dai Li and becomes brainwashed. So this time, since the group is tired of the rules in Ba Sing Se, they devise a plan to investigate the issues in the city, and they head all out, and eventually they come across the freedom fighters again, with Jet still being mad at Iroh for being a firebender, even though Iroh is a nice person, so he says nothing about it. So they ask about the freedom fighters, about their plans, and they try to talk about why war is not allowed in Ba Sing Se, and they plan to investigate what is happening. So in the night, they sneak around to get some info, and they discover a place called Lake Laogai. And in the day, they decide to try and find the place. Like in Canon, they find an underground tunnel leading to the shocking truth about what has been going on in the city. They are then confronted by the Dai Li, and Long Fen tries to take them out. But since Jet is not brainwashed, he immediately goes to attack Long Fen. So, guarded by Toph, Jet does not get killed off, like in Canon. So at this point, they try to take out Long Fen as he tries to escape, and is revealed for all the bad things he did, and is arrested. So they then revealed the most important information to the Earth King. As they're heading off, they receive word that the Kyosho Warriors are arriving. The group then decides to split up like in canon, as Stop wants to meet her parents again, and the group wants to stay for the Kyosho Warriors. Now in the next part, we'll become the finale of this What If and cover Aang as he's battling the idea of killing firebenders again. Because Iroh has been different for Aang, but it will probably not be for Azula and Ozai if they continue on a dangerous path. So, basically, the idea is that Aang is probably going to do something to them later in the story, and we'll be covering that in the finale of this What If. So stay tuned for that.